Yep, just me over here eating an ice cream cone full of raw edible cookie dough. I'm gonna show you today how to make chocolate chip cookie dough and sugar cookie dough, plus a few different variations. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Hey everyone, it's Dorothy with crazyforcrust.com and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're talking all about cookie dough. Edible cookie dough, that is. Cookie dough that is safe to eat because there's no eggs in it. And if you're worried about flour, I'm gonna give you some tips on how to cook the flour ahead of time. So even that you don't have to worry about. Completely safe to eat edible cookie dough a few different ways. Sugar cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough. If you love cookie dough, you're in the right place today. For more delicious desserts and easy recipes, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now let's get in the kitchen. We've all been there where we're making cookies and we just want to eat the cookie dough, not actually make the cookies. And today I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's start off with my chocolate chip cookie dough recipe.
Cream together a half of a cup of unsalted butter that's been softened with a half of a cup of packed brown sugar and a quarter of a cup of granulated sugar. Mix that all together and then add a half of a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
All right, so the trick to leaving eggs out of a recipe is you're gonna use a little bit less flour than my regular cookie recipe, plus I like to add milk. So my rule of thumb is that for every egg that I'm omitting, I'm going to add a tablespoon of milk. And yes, I'm using just non-fat milk because that's what we always have in our kitchen, but you can use regular milk. You could also use a non-dairy milk like almond milk, soy milk, those sorts of things. It's easy to substitute.
Once you add in the 2 tablespoons of milk, also add 1 cup of all-purpose flour.
Now when it comes to cookie dough, eggs are what I worry about eating raw. I don't worry about eating raw flour, but if you are worried about it, don't worry about it. You can bake your flour. Baking the flour kills any of the bacteria that might be in it. It's super easy. I have a whole video showing you how to do that right here. But basically you just put your flour on a cookie sheet, bake it for 5 minutes at 350. Super simple. Now I just added chocolate chips to this. You could also add nuts, you could add M&Ms, sprinkles, anything that you want, any mix-ins. Let your pantry and your favorite candies and mix-ins be your guide. Choose whatever you like. Now that we have our chocolate chip cookie dough, let's make our sugar cookie dough. And I love sugar cookies. They're one of my favorite cookies. So this recipe is a little bit different than the chocolate chip cookie as it just uses granulated sugar. And I'm also adding a little bit of almond extract because I love the flavor that that adds to the sugar cookies.
The sugar cookie dough also starts with a half of a cup of unsalted butter that's been softened, but you'll mix in 1 cup of granulated sugar.
Now, I don't know about you, but I have been eating raw cookie dough for years, just straight out of the bowl before I bake the cookies. But if you wanna make a safe to eat edible cookie dough that you can either just eat with a spoon or maybe make some cookie dough cupcakes or use as make cookie dough ice cream, this is the recipe for you. It's a super, super simple and easy.
Cream that together and then add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons of milk and the quarter of a teaspoon of almond extract I mentioned earlier. Then mix in 1 cup of all-purpose flour.
All right, now when it comes to your sugar cookie dough, you can leave it totally plain. I love adding sprinkles just to brighten it up and make it pretty. Mini M&Ms are great. You could also put chocolate chips in here, whatever you like. Once you have your cookie doughs all ready, it is time to eat it. Now, this is great for if you're gonna make ice cream. I will link my ice cream recipe up here. You could make cookie dough ice cream with it. You can make this into like a frosting for the top of a cupcake. There's so many different things that you can do with cookie dough, and I will link some of my favorite recipes down in the comments. But one of my favorite ways to eat it is to scoop it like ice cream and just eat it with a spoon or from a cone like this. Cookie dough shops are all the rage right now, where you can just go in and buy a scoop of raw cookie dough. Super simple and super easy to make it yourself. I'm gonna go and enjoy my ice cream or my cookie dough cone here. Leave me a comment, let me know which one you're gonna make first, and keep watching for even more desserts.